The Beat of the Bronx, a Yankee podcast with Russ Lichty. Today's episode is brought to you by Your Bronx Dentist. Come meet Dr. Ebby and his team at two convenient locations in the Norwood and Throgs Neck sections of the Bronx. Schedule your next appointment at yourbronxdentist.com. And now, here's Russ.
I really have to start introducing myself in the intro. Hi guys, it's Jess and Russ here, ready to start off this episode of the Beat of the Bronx, episode 33.
Going into the postseason.
I mean, that's what we're jumping right into. Forget everything else. Forget what we've been doing. Let's talk about the Yankees clinching the postseason.
First and foremost, let's forget about what happened in the regular season. All the ups and downs.
The drama.
Right now, today, they mean nothing. The Yankees are in the postseason for the 60th time in franchise history, and still, the division is still on the docket here.
I mean, I still got my eyes on it. I'm looking for that division right now. We're not laying back.
Boston Red Sox helping us out tonight. They have Garrett Crochet taking on Max Scherzer. And, for the Red Sox, it could help the Yankees out. But still, as much as the Red Sox win, if they win, the Yankees still got to, win some games here too. But a little bit of a lead on Boston. But the main thing here is that one-game divisional lead by Toronto. It's basically two with the tiebreaker for the season, but 5 games to go here. Red Sox could really help us out tonight.
I mean, the issue with that is, who was it, Aaron Boone, that said, be careful what you wish for, kind of thing, because, coming from our background to being Yankee fans,
you don't want the Red Sox to win the rest of the season, and then we don't win, and then they overtake us.
Exactly.
In the standings.
Exactly. This is not a situation. I never want to be in a situation where I need to root for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
I mean, really, when it comes down to it, let's be honest.
It's a 3-game lead. 3-game lead over Boston.
So we have to keep it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
We have to keep it. I know we ideally want them to win, but it's not going to help if we're not winning.
But so far, well, we were just talking right before we started recording here. The Yankees had the #1 road record. The Brewers tonight, depending on what they do in San Diego, will solidify that. But the Yankees here on the season, with no more road games left in the regular season, we had a 44-37 record on the road.
I gotta be honest, I'm slightly surprised by that.
The Brewers are 44-36, and with a loss tonight to San Diego, who's still in the division race of their own. They're a game and a half back behind the Dodgers. If the Brewers lose tonight, we'll tie the Brewers for the best road record in the season.
I mean,
but those are little things you can look at. But when we were talking about, whatever happened in the regular season over, we're talking about the Volpe struggles.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Even the good. Max Fried, going for his, 19th win tonight? Yeah. It's 19. If he gets his 19th win, if they're 2 clunkers in the playoffs, those 19 wins mean nothing. Yeah. The real season starts now.
And you know what that's going to bring me into? The conversation. I know you made a video about it. We've had some discussion about it, but I want to discuss the regular season MVP situation because, like we said, the season for us, what we always said, starts in the postseason. That's it.
Anything else that happened does not matter. The struggles of the season. Ryan McMahon is 4 for his last 41.
Yeah.
He could be the catalyst for the postseason run. It all means nothing. It all means nothing. The regular season, it means something is you got to get there. Yeah. But the individual stats, like the struggles of Anthony Volpe, that's out the window.
And hearing about all Judge's home runs.
Gone.
Judge hit all those home runs in the regular season.
I don't want to hear about it no more.
It's
to me, the regular season MVP just doesn't matter.
And really, Cal Raleigh, I mean,
for a catcher,
you got to give that kid a lot of credit. He had some season.
For a catcher, for a switch hitter, I know, the OPS with Judge, if you take 180 points away.
I don't even know how to look at that.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, look at Seattle Mariners. Even Dave Sims talked about it on the radio broadcast. On his Instagram, I should say, his videos that he does after he said this is the second time in his broadcasting career that he's going to be calling postseason games.
Yeah.
the longtime voice of the Seattle Mariners on TV.
Yep.
Second time, because the Mariners, I mean, to me, it seems like the last time they had, this really nice run, the Yankees put an end to it when they beat the 1998 record,
Yep.
the best team in baseball.
Yep.
But this is a team, Seattle, a team that has never appeared in a World Series, let alone win. They never appeared, and then the years upon years where they were contenders, and at the last minute they would, last minute of the season, they would fall out of contention. And just, makes you wonder. Dave Sims, who's been in the game doing this for a very, very long time, longer than we were around.
Yep.
Second time ever doing postseason. So when you think of things like that, yeah, it's easy for a Yankee fan
We are
to
spoiled.
take it for granted. We
Yeah.
expect it. That's Michael Kay had a great stat, which I used. It's since 1993, the Yankees have played 28 meaningless ball games in the regular season.
It's a lot.
That is wild.
Yep.
Wild, and a nice omen for the going for the 28.
Number 28. Yep.
But we get very spoiled as Yankee
Yeah.
fans. We take it for granted. We expect the playoffs every year when you see teams like the Mariners and
Listen, when it comes
same thing
down
with the Blue
to,
Jays. Look at the Blue Jays.
it seems like a minuscule thing, but you know what? When you plan a party or you plan something, you say, "Oh, I wonder if again." I mean, at least we do. We say, "Oh, well, what month is it in? Are the Yankees going to be on?" When we found out that we were having our first child in October, which now we have 2 with October birthdays, we were like, "Oh wow, well, I guess we're having a playoff baby," because we assumed the Yankees are going to make, which they did that year. But it's the playoffs, the baseball playoffs, I feel, have just been a part of my life,
Been a part of our life.
almost my whole life.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
So that not making the playoffs would be like, it's one of the hardest things. The end, let's discuss this then. The end of the regular season of baseball in general. I know we're riding the high of clinching, but
for me, it's depressing. I mean, just knowing in my head that there's only 5 regular season games left. I mean, the baseball season is, one of those things. It's one of those constants it's always there. And then you're like, all right, baseball is going to be over. I mean, playoffs is coming. It's a different animal. It's just that grind of a baseball season, knowing that pretty much every night that they're going to be on and there'll be a ball game. And not talking about even the wins and losses, just
the routine.
The routine of the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about everyone else, but I love watching the pregame. I love watching the postgame. I can't get enough of it. I watch MLB Network. You know what happened. You watched all the games, and you still want to watch the highlights over and over and over again. I mean, I'm speaking for myself here, but it's just
no. I agree with you.
It's more upsetting. I mean, I know we have football and other stuff, but it's not the same. Baseball. I mean, you know me better than anyone. Baseball is, other than you and the kids, that's my life. I mean,
and you know what though, it's a part of our lives because we grew up with it like that. I know you were the same way as me. If there was a Yankee game happening, it was on television or at least on the radio in the backyard. Yep. It's an automatic, a constant. Our children, even as babies, would look for baseball to watch. Emma, when she was only 2 years old, we would put on Yankee Classics. We would record some Yankee Classics for her on the DVR and play them for her in the winter because she was always asking for the Yankees. It's just a part of our lives too.
And you guys seen Camille's video? She jumped in on the action.
She loves it. So
she loves watching it. Loves it. I mean,
everything is Yankees.
Keep her quiet. Put on MLB Network.
Yep.
Put on a replay of the game. She loves it. Every sport's Yankees, even John.
Every sport, a Yankee. Everything's a Yankee. But you know what? We're starting off now with this postseason, and we need to eye on the prize.
Yeah.
And really, really consider. I really hope they are considering, because we have no say in it. Mm-hmm. I hope they're really, really heavily considering how they're going to run this lineup and how they're going to run the bullpen.
The rotation.
The rotation is a big deal.
Well, it's pretty much getting set up now. That they clinched.
With Rodon now.
So Fried is pitching tonight,
which
lines him up for the first game.
Right.
The wild card.
Right.
They bumped up Rodon to Thursday, tomorrow. Weather permitting. The weather's supposed to be pretty bad here in the Bronx. So hopefully it won't be a wash. But Rodon is going to be pitching Thursday, tomorrow. Will Warren, who was supposed to pitch Thursday, will now be pitching Friday.
Okay.
On Saturday, Cam Schlittler, and then because Luis Heel pitched last night, Sunday to close it out, will most likely be Luis Heel. Now, we'll see what they do, barring what happens if the division's going to be in play, which it could be. That might change some things. It seems like the bullpen is starting to solidify itself here, too. Down the stretch here, the bullpen starting to solidify itself a little bit. Weaver's settling down.
I liked his interview
on the show with John Heyman.
It was such a good interview.
And also to sum it up, he is going to be a free agent next year.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, not surprising, because Clay Holmes did the same thing. He is interested in returning to a starting rotation somewhere, which for him, for Weaver, it makes sense. For Weaver, it makes sense because the Yankees have some bargain on his contract right now. I want to say he's making $2 $2.5 million. I mean, they took him out of the closer role, which if you were still in the closer role,
I'm still.
Well, I mean, at the time it needed to be done from a team perspective. Looking at Luke Weaver's perspective now going into free agency, a starting pitcher and a closing pitcher makes more money than a middle reliever.
100%.
So for 100%. Weaver's case and, the career that he's had, go get your bag.
Oh, yeah, I can.
But we still got to worry about the now. He's going to be a key contributor. We'll worry about the offseason. But if you haven't listened to it, the show with John Heyman and Joel Sherman, the New York Post podcast, go take a listen. They had Luke Weaver on it last week. It was a great, great listen.
I liked how he discussed about mentality.
Yes.
And he was saying how not just himself, he said the bullpen as a whole is struggling and that they need to mentally be in the game more than they're showing now. And I think that was such a good way for him to not get down on the struggles and just focus on going.
You got to remember, this was last week when he was, really blowing games up.
It was bad.
And the bullpen, this was right around when Devin started his 6 scoreless outing.
Yes.
This was not this week, last week. So it was, got to take that into consideration when listening.
But you know what? Maybe what he was talking about in that podcast has a bit to do with these improvements that we're seeing. Like, this is what's been going on in that clubhouse. These are discussions that need to be had amongst these guys. If they don't have that open line of communication as a group, they will never win anything. That is one of the most important things. Morale and open lines of communication between the players, so important.
That goes for any sports. Communication is key. We can even use that example for the New York Football Giants. But we'll get there when we get there. Still talking about the Yankees. but it was a great interview. A lot about the mental toughness and guys knowing their roles and putting the ego aside. You have David Bednar.
A lot of big
all-star closers. Devin Williams, all-star closer. Camilo Doval was an all-star closer.
I know they have all the cards. It's just a matter of how they're going to work together.
It's just they gotta get it together. They gotta figure it out this October. Work is one unit. I mean, if you ask me, I don't care who the closer is. Just get the 3 out.
Don't matter to me.
Doesn't matter. Those days of worrying about, we're fans of the team at our age. I mean, you like certain guys, you have certain favorites, but when push comes to shove, for me, and I'll speak for myself, I can care less who's on the team. Just get it done.
I haven't really cared about a designated closer since Mariano already.
Exactly.
It doesn't really matter.
Exactly. So all the best.
Yeah.
So the best ever do.
And you know what? God willing, one day we'll see somebody even better. Who knows? Records are meant to be broken. That's always the way it goes. But at this point, just like those teams, we need to be more worried about winning and less worried about who's doing the winning. It doesn't, all that stuff just really needs to be set aside. I mean, if we're going to look back at last year at the postseason, the biggest issue that they had, if this is what they are going to do as a team, which I think they should be doing, is going back and seeing what their biggest problem is. One of their biggest problems is fundamentals in the game.
Playing a clean ball game, defensively and on the base paths. They still do. Yeah.
I think this should be their number one priority.
I mean, Ben Rice has been tearing the cover off the ball. Don Fletcher made a wonderful play in right field last night. Played the count perfectly. Even Paul O'Neill was talking about it. But Ben Rice, when he rounded second, he had that little stutter step, and these are the little things that matter. I mean, we did come out, we won the game.
Well, that's coming from Ben Rice, who is very solid fundamentally.
But that can't happen next week.
Correct.
That can't happen next week.
Correct.
And, the base running blunders, from Ben Rice, they've been there all season.
Yeah.
From a lot of different guys, the base running blunders. I mean, we always joke around. The Yankees are allergic to a double play. They cannot, whether it's Caballero at short, whether it's Volpe, Jazz at second, even Rosario, at second. They can't turn the double play. Now, these are all things.
So important.
It's very important, especially going to be real important next week.
Oh.
But, these little things, and, the Yankees just clinching, everyone's excited. But there's still those little things that, have been, we talk about how the regular season's in the past. It is in the past. Anthony Volpe struggles in the past. If he's going to be in the lineup, he has to be able to get it done. And so far, he's been.
But the necessity is, while it's over and done, is the ability to look at it and use it going forward to change the way you work.
Yes.
Because otherwise, it will matter again, because it's going to happen. That's all there is to it. If you don't use it to change what you're doing, then what's the point?
Exactly. Yeah, they gotta clean up the ball game defensively. I mean, and we see here another thing is, over the weekend, Trevor Rogers, Kyle Bradish. Now, same thing with last night. Shane Smith pitched a hell of a ball game. All three pitched hell of a ball game. Now, of course, these are two of the lower league teams in the American League, and we're not going to be seeing them in the playoffs. But these are three young pitchers who are pretty damn good. And, Trevor Rogers has the best ERA in baseball right now. And, he gave the Yankees fits. It was the one game out of the four that the Orioles won. And you know what? He's not Garrett Crochet, top left-hander, that if we're facing Garrett Crochet, we know the track record of the season. He's dominated us. What troubles me a little bit here is how when it's a good pitcher on the mound, whether it's a good team, whether it's a bad team, the pitcher himself as an individual is a top pitcher in this league, the American League, and the Yankees struggle against them.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder. I mean, we're watching the game. It makes me wonder, what if this happens in the wild card round? Which it can definitely happen. I mean, they're having trouble. They were having trouble hitting, Kyle Bradish. Kyle Bradish had a lot of injuries this year. Pitched a real nice ball game against the Yankees. Reminded me of, Brian Bayo. Brian Bayo, who, seems to only have good games against the Yankees. But you know what? He's pitching against the Yankees, and he's having a good game against the Yankees. That's the only thing that matters in that moment. Because if you can't capitalize when, let's say Brian Bayo is on the mound, you're going to be going home. So it doesn't really matter. Don't get lost in who it is on the mound and who we're talking about. It's just that the bats need to get better. There has to be more consistent offensive production here. They've been living and dying by the home run all season. And, it's great, let's celebrate, through the grind, playoff berth, still in a spot to win the division. You want to lock up that number one wild card spot if that's what it's going to be. But when I say clean it up a little bit, I'm not just talking about the errors.
No, I know.
And the fundamental mistakes. We're talking about situational baseball. Get them on, get them over. We've seen Anthony Volpe after coming back from his shoulder injury and getting his cortisone shot. His approach at the plate's been different. You see that quick swing to right field, saying inside on the ball, getting on. When it seems like when the Yankees get on now, it seems like anytime a guy gets walked, it seems like they're sending him, which is great. I love it. You got to be more aggressive. I mean, we've lost series, we've lost games for, off the top of my head, for the last 3 years now, I can remember, for getting out baseballed.
Yes.
It's now time for the Yankees to out baseball the opponent. Make them make the play. Dom Fletcher, and make him make the play. And like last night with Ben Rice, he did make the play.
Yeah.
But I rather that happen than a stupid mistake where it's a base it up the middle and he misses a stop sign and stops short and then gets picked off at third, which we've seen before.
Plenty of times.
All things that can't happen next week. And just with Aaron Judge, which is 8th postseason now, we talk about let's forget what happened in the regular season. He could wind up being the MVP, but if he has another clunker of the postseason, we'll be going home early because the way I really honestly think a lot of it's gonna ride on him this year.
I think so too.
There's gonna be some other guys who are gonna have to step up, but we need Aaron Judge to be that catalyst.
We need him to be him. Regular season.
We need him to be the problem for the opposition. We need to see the reigning American League MVP in the wild card series, in the division series, in the championship series, and into the World Series to get that MVP award that matters, the one that really matters, World Series MVP.
100%. Now, in terms of Judge for this postseason, do you anticipate that he will be playing the field as much as?
It seems like it.
Yeah.
It seems like he'll be, in right field at pretty much every game.
We're going to be looking at Giancarlo mostly.
I would say if there's anything that we don't know about going on, but I want to say without looking at the lineup, I think he played right field either 3 or 4 games in a row, the last 3 or 4.
Yeah.
He's been out there,
And I've been seeing a bit of an improvement in his.
The throw still has a little bit of a loop on it.
He's gonna have a little.
That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's a matter of where is it gonna level off.
Mm-hmm.
Like as long as he's giving us the offensive production, then I'm okay with the issues with the throwing and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if we end up in a situation where he's going 0 for 4 every night, and then he's not making the throw to the cutoff man to get somebody out, I have a problem with that. I have a big problem with that.
Yeah, and hopefully we don't.
And I know that's not a popular opinion.
No.
But that is how I feel.
I do feel that if he was really a liability out there, they won't put him out there.
Yeah, I know, I agree.
If he was really that much of a liability, he's not going to have the same arm as obviously.
Although.
Flexor tendon strain.
Although they kept running Volpe out there knowing he was hurt.
Yeah, it's very true.
While he was getting booed and beat up in the media and all that. And then they came out later and said, no, we knew he was hurt. He had a cortisone shot over the All-Star break. So I don't know how much confidence I personally have in that decision-making skills when they're running out Volpe for no reason every day.
And those cortisone shots wear off.
Yeah, they don't last long. You've had 2 this summer.
For a little while, but after a few weeks, let's just hope that we have a few more weeks of some of this magic here, because from the way they've been playing as of late, they're showing what they're really made of, what this team is really made of. The problem of Volpe playing good and Caballero is a good problem to have.
Mm-hmm.
I think Caballero coming off the bench and spelling guys, that's probably the best.
Definitely.
I think that's
he has skills in enough positions for us to use him like that.
And with the way Ryan McMahon's been hitting as of late, against a tough lefty, let's just say if everything stays the way it is now, we line up against Garrett Crochet. I would want Caballero or Ahmed Rosario, who just whenever he's in the lineup against a lefty, all he does is hit.
Yeah.
You gotta put the best lineup out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to give you the best ability to win. It's not what the people in the grandstands are going to feel is the best lineup, or who's everyone's favorite player. It doesn't matter. Right now, if it's not a lefty on the mound, I don't want to see Paul Goldschmidt in the lineup.
I gotta agree.
You gotta, unless it's a lefty, a tough lefty, you gotta have Ben Rice out there. The way he's been hitting, the way he's been playing, the energy that he brings.
Question for you: do you think that Goldie makes the playoff roster?
Yeah, he's definitely gonna make it.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely gonna make it.
Because I thought that was a little iffy on my end.
He's definitely guys that are iffy are gonna be like the Austin Slaters and stuff like that. But Goldie definitely.
You know, it's always.
Should he be playing every playoff game? No, I would only start him against tough lefties and bring him in, possibly as defensive replacement late, which we've been.
Yes. Yeah. It's going to be interesting for sure. So I was just looking at the schedule. So if it stands right now and we make the wild card, it will be game 1 of the wild card is on Tuesday, September 30th.
Yeah.
Then we're looking at October 1st to October 2nd. Division series, if for some reason we take our division, we're looking at game 1 division series Saturday, October 4th. So
it'll be a little bit of a layoff.
Because
the wild card series is a 3-game series.
Now, I have to be honest with that. I know we say our eyes are on the division. We want to face opponents in that way and all that stuff. But I'm not a huge fan of that week-long layover.
No, I
don't like that.
I would say I rather win the wild card
And be
series.
active.
And a team can get hot that wild card.
Yes.
You can also get cold too.
Of course.
But thinking ahead, playing the wild card, not winning the division, it wouldn't maybe be the worst thing unless you go in and you have a stinker series.
Yeah.
And then you're going home anyway. But that momentum buildup, which I understand, it could be a good thing.
Especially
could be
now.
For the past few years, we've seen a lot of wild card teams have success. Throughout the postseason.
Well, also, I know we have seen a lot of success with wild card teams, but you also have to keep in mind that there are so many wild card teams now that
expanded.
It's kind of like 50-50 if it's going to be a division winner or a wild card winner that's making it.
See, a good example of this right now, a team that would benefit from winning the division would be the Detroit Tigers.
Yes.
Because of how the Cleveland Guardians overtook the division after being down. It was being back, I want to say 10, 11
It was
games.
crazy. That was crazy.
They won about 10 games in a row. And, a team like Detroit right now, for the way it's happened, if they can somehow find a way to take this division and, become the number 2 seed in the American League, which they would be now, that's that's a team that would benefit.
Yeah. No, I can see
That's
that.
a team that would benefit
I
from
definitely
it.
see that.
Same thing goes for the Dodgers, who are a game and a half above the Padres now. The Dodgers would benefit from having that off time. A team like them, just like the Tigers, it wouldn't look good.
Yeah.
Stumbling into the wild card round, because then you're going into the wild card round on a down note.
Yeah.
And then not only you got to worry about going home, you got to get it right here, or you'll be going home. And a team, and then even a team like Cleveland. Let's say Cleveland takes the division. Then they have that. They were so hot. What's going to happen with that week off?
No.
And it's all hypothetical.
I know.
But that's baseball. We've seen it, for years.
Plenty of times. It's just, we just gotta keep going along, and I really just hope that
the Yankees, let's get this division here. It's right within reach. Let's let the Blue Jays be the ones, stumbling into the wild card. Not like the Yankees are stumbling in.
No,
actually. Let's make Toronto be the team, in the American League to stumble across, just like we're talking about.
Yep.
They let them worry about, getting out of the wild card.
Yep. Agreed.
Because I just for me personally, coming off of the World Series loss, you just want to see the Yankees win the division, because they've had had the lead during the year and they lost.
Well, if we didn't have such a hard go of it for so long in the middle there, we wouldn't be in that position.
The elongated June swoon that we
June, July, August.
We can put that into the back, the rearview mirror now. Because like we said, it doesn't mean anything. What I'm worried about here is
from here on out,
who is going to be the guy, or who are going to be the guys come October.
Yeah.
Are we going to see some of the same guys who've been doing it all year? Giancarlo, coming back from injury, not even playing a full season, putting up the numbers that he's been. And I would like to see this weekend at some point, Volpe get that homer, just so they can tie that Minnesota Twins record of having 8+ players with 20 plus
that's
homers.
really something.
That's something. To have 7 guys for the third time in franchise history, have 7 players with 20 plus homers. I mean, Ryan McMahon has 19, but they say it don't really count because he doesn't have all those with the Yankees.
Right.
But still, and just for Ryan McMahon's sake, the struggles that he's been having, the only way he can go up is the only way to go is up.
Yeah.
I mean, when Michael Kay said that yesterday, 4 for his last 40, and then as he popped out to left field, so 4 for his last 41. Eventually, what goes up must come down.
You see,
Something has to.
I said it last week.
But thank God he's still, making all the plays in the field, and his glove at third base is going to be key.
Solid. So
it's going to be so key in the postseason. We talk about clean baseball and making the plays, and you have Max Fried and Carlos Rodon as your 1 and 2 here.
Mm-hmm. I said it last week, and I really think that buy me a lotto ticket because I am putting my money on Ryan McMahon this postseason. I feel he's gonna be the dude. He's gonna come out and surprise everybody. That's what I think is gonna happen.
Well, I mean, we're gonna need Judge is gonna need his supporting cast. He's not gonna be able to do it all alone. I mean, Carlos gonna have to do his thing.
I'm hoping we see our typical postseason Giancarlo.
Cody Bellinger has been unreal.
Oh yeah. What a year.
On both sides of the ball, offensively, defensively, all 3 outfield positions. I mean, without Cody Bellinger, where would this team be?
Nowhere.
I mean, where would this team be? I mean, Ben Rice, we would keep hearing about how, he hits the ball so hard and how he gets unlucky. Maybe it's going to come now when he's in start to get lucky. The ball's going to be, spraying the gap, going over the fence. We're going to need all hands on deck. Guys are going to have to step up here. Anthony Volpe, Austin Wells. I don't want to hear about the offensive struggles all season. It don't mean nothing. Do it now. Got to do it now.
I don't want to hear nothing either about how many guys are getting left on base.
Yes.
Getting the walks. We always talk about the walks and how important they are and things like that. Drawing the walks and then not capitalizing on those guys on base is out of control. We cannot play like that.
Look at last night. Look at the ninth inning. The ninth inning, the Grisham ground into a double play. I mean, we got lucky last night.
That was so frustrating.
2-strike wild pitch, and then the intentional walk, and then the walk. That was it. Capitalizing on the walk, capitalizing on their mistakes. Because all these years, all those losses in the postseason, they're getting embarrassed by the Red Sox in the playoffs just because they out-baseballed us. You got to push the limit. Make the other team make the mistake.
I agree.
Okay. Make them make the play. We say it all the time. Make him make the play. And if he does, you tip your cap. That's baseball.
As long as you're playing the game the way it should be played, you should be okay.
Mm-hmm. And
it's made for that. Baseball is made for that.
And I do want to add this because we were talking about Max Fried. The Yankees are 21-10 this season in Max Fried starts.
Wow.
And I did look it up there, 18-14 in Carlos Rodon starts.
Okay.
Which is, pretty good. It's not 21-10, but that's how important Max Fried has been to this team.
Thank God.
And he had the struggles that he had.
Yeah.
In August. We were like, it looked like a different pitcher.
Oh, him and everybody else.
It was when the blister started, just unbelievable. But just got to keep it going here. I mean, he's going for, what is it, his 19th win tonight?
I think so.
19th
I think so.
19th win.
What does he have in his bad ones before when players come to the Yankees? I never know nothing about them.
He won with the Braves.
History?
He won with the Braves.
Okay.
He's reached his career high mark for innings, which we talked about a lot this year.
Yes, we did.
The year he won the World Series with the Braves, he had 2 injuries that season. He had blister problems and a hamstring problem early in April from running the bases. So that was when it was no DH, no DH, and it kind of preserved his innings down the stretch. That was 2021, if I remember correctly. But he had a wonderful postseason. He had pitched great in the World Series against the Astros, and we're going to need that. We're going to need that. Like we said, and like how Joel Sherman says, we compare him to Jimmy Key. When the Yankees came to Jimmy Key, and Jimmy Key was a world champion in 1996. Talk about big games. We're going to need that from Max Fried, and He's stepping in to be the ace. Garrett Cole's the ace. Garrett Cole, physically in the dugout, but he's not out on the field playing. We're going to need Max Fried to keep this going. And, he's going for his 19 wins tonight. If he has 19 wins, that 19 wins is going to get you when you're playing in the wild card round, when you're playing in the division series round. It's not gonna matter.
No.
What's going to matter is how he performs in that moment and what he does in that moment.
Yep.
Just the prime example, and to put this on anybody, but the prime example is you look at Scott Brocious, and the only reason I always keep bringing it up because we've seen it, and we've seen it happen numerous times. It wasn't just a one-time thing in 1998. His whole Yankee career. And when you're saying Ryan McMahon could be that guy, he definitely could be that guy.
Oh, he's definitely.
Because they are the same type of player. The only difference is Ryan McMahon bats lefty and Scott Brocious batting righty.
I mean,
That is the only difference.
we spent the entire first half of the season saying to each other, who's going to be the Scott
Who's
Brocious?
going to be Scott Brocious? It could be Anthony Volpe. Look
It
at
could
what
be.
he did last postseason. The one game that we won in the World Series was because of an Anthony Volpe grand
Yes.
slam in one of the most clutchest moments you can ask for.
I know. It could be anyone. That's the thing. It could be anyone. We could be very surprised. We could be very surprised by how this
I want to be surprised. I want to be surprised. That's it. I want to be surprised.
shock us, please. It's, like anything like that happens that we could sit here and say we're surprised.
Mhm.
That's a good thing.
But
That means we're going in a different direction.
just like last week, I want to single out Aaron Judge. I want to single out Aaron Judge because you know what? We're waiting for his signature October Yankees moment.
I agree.
As much as a lot of people hated him, even Jason Giambi had big October moments. The Aaron Boone home runs would have never happened if it wasn't for Jason
Correct.
Giambi's 2 home runs.
Correct.
That terrible World Series in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
The only Yankee in the lineup who showed up against the Florida Marlins was Jason Giambi. It's time now where, what do you want your legacy to be?
Yeah. And now
What do you want your legacy to be? Do you want to be known as the only captain joining Don Mattingly to not have a championship? And you were there. And when you were there, you didn't show up. I mean, you remember my videos. Go back and look at videos during the World Series. I was calling him Captain K.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
Not like I wanted to, but
Last year was rough.
telling it how it is.
By the time that we got to the ALCS last year, I was disgusted.
Yep.
I was frustrated. I couldn't take it anymore.
Mhm.
You could ask us. When Aaron Judge got up to bat in the ALCS, I got up almost every time.
Yeah.
I said, I can't watch this. Let me know what happens. I couldn't take it.
We need Judge to have his signature October moment. And even A-Rod did it in 2009. And the World Series championship would have never happened. Hideki Matsui won the World Series MVP. But A-Rod, through that stretch of the playoffs, was otherworldly.
After years of getting booed.
Doing what Judge
Years of getting booed.
winning MVPs. And not showing up when it matters.
Yep. So Judgy can have that moment. It's not out of reach for him at all yet.
That's where we're at with Aaron Judge. We know how great he is. He's probably going to go down when it's all said and done. He's going to be top 5 Yankee all time.
I know that. I'm well aware.
We love Aaron Judge.
Yes.
We were there.
He is-
We were there for his first home run.
As
We were there for it.
I say, Jeter was our captain.
Yep.
Judge is our kid's captain.
Yep.
They're going to know him very well as they get older. The problem I have now, and this is why I'm hoping that this year is the turnaround point for him, is that with these little tiny injuries creeping up, the toe, the this,
Mhm.
the that, how much time is this guy really
Well,
going to have
the-
long term?
The window
It's nothing.
The window is now.
Yeah. He has to do this because he doesn't know how much more time he's going to get.
I wish we were over here talking about going for a repeat
I know.
like the old days.
I know.
When we talked about growing up, how we were spoiled from the time 1996 was unbelievable. The Yankees won because they weren't expected to win. 1997 was a crusher, but the then Cleveland Indians, they were a powerhouse team.
Yeah.
They were a powerhouse team from way before 1997, from all through the 90s, really. And just like the Yankees were. And then 98. 1999 was ridiculous, where they just swept through the World Series. It was just nuts. That it was just 1999 was a beatdown, of just
basically.
showing, everyone flexing their muscles. 2000 was a necessity, and I'll say this, and I always say it: the Mets were the better team.
But we pulled it out.
The Yankees pulled it out. They won it when they got it done when they had to, because of signature moments.
Exactly.
Signature moments.
Yep.
I mean, Judgy ain't leading off the game, but it was against Rick Reed, Derek Jeter, first pitch of the game, boom. Like getting it done. Ruthless, relentless baseball. And it's just, I don't want to talk about how we need Judge, because I know a lot of people disagree with us. But for us, it tarnishes a lot of the way we look at him as a Yankee.
Yep.
I know he's great. We know he's great.
We see the so many of his home runs over the years.
Show us when it counts.
Yeah.
You're the Yankee captain. Act like it.
And I'm not just talking offensively.
Offensively, defensively.
I'm talking defensively too. We've seen too many fumbles, too many.
Well, his one lone error last year was a very, very important one.
Bad timing.
Yeah.
Bad timing.
And timing usually is everything. But you know what?
But we don't want that to be the signature moment of his postseason career, which is what we mean by
we've seen public enemy number one in the majority of the Yankee fan base up until last year ALCS. The majority, we've been in Yankee Stadium where the only ones cheering Giancarlo Stanton.
I've been the only one cheering Giancarlo Stanton.
People still don't give Giancarlo his proper recognition. But
I'm sorry.
We've seen him carry the team.
Literally on his back, alone.
So it's Judge's turn.
When we lost last year, of course I was upset as a fan.
Yep.
The person I was most upset for was for Giancarlo Stanton, especially now, knowing he was playing through those injuries and all that. That guy was the team last season.
Look what he did when he came back from those injuries. Not 100%. Look what he's still doing now.
People are still calling for him to retire.
Yeah.
It is beyond me why anyone would not want Giancarlo Stanton in their starting lineup in a postseason game.
Yeah.
I don't care if he went 1 for 4 because you know that one is a run.
And it changes the whole trajectory of the lineup.
It is
the way the pitcher looks at them. And we talk about talk about guys getting hot and stuff. It's not going to be easy.
No.
With the Cleveland Guardians playing the way they are, this ain't the same old Cleveland Guardians. Don't look at it as the Yankees are going to beat up on the Central. No, they're beating up on everybody.
Yeah.
The Guardians are the ones beating up on everybody. The Yankees are going to have their hands full here. I mean, the Red Sox get in, watch out. The Blue Jays are going to be a real dangerous team. They might be, they're floundering a little bit here, a real dangerous team. And that's not even thinking about the National League teams. We have to think about the American League teams. You got to get there first.
Yep.
Whoever we play, if comes down to it, if you get to that point, you worry about it then. But you got to look at what's ahead of you.
The most immediate threat.
If the season ended today, we would face off against the Boston Red Sox, and they've owned us this year.
Yeah.
Completely.
If I have to see Mayo on that mound against us, I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I'm being honest. That's one of the reasons going for the division is so important.
Yes.
Because having to face the Red Sox in that wild card series, we're not going to make it.
Yeah.
I personally feel that way. Their pitching has fully dominated us this year.
Oh, yeah.
Fully dominated us. Without even a question.
Even Lucas Giolito had some nice stuff.
Yeah.
These are guys that get hit around. It's just, it doesn't, when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter, how Lucas Giolito, what defense he has behind him. He's playing for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
They're going to make plays behind him. They're going to win ball games. Simple as that.
And as always,
it's down to who's going to make the plays.
Yep.
Who's going to record the outs. Who's going to drive in runs. Is that in that time and moment? That's all that matters. It doesn't matter that, Anthony Volpe batted 200.
No.
Or, he was playing hurt. It doesn't matter. It all matters now. What they do now.
And if we face the Red Sox to start off the postseason, that alone has so many connotations to it where it's just got that vibe. Yankees Red Sox always has that vibe in the postseason where everyone's on high alert, and it has a different feeling than playing any other team. It's got so much more tied to it. Now, that being said, the last couple of years, we have discussed this before, we didn't feel that same feeling.
Yeah.
This year, it's back.
Yeah.
It's back in full force, I feel. The rivalry is fully back.
We've been talking about that. I mean,
Fully.
even in the off season, I was saying
The last couple of years was not like that. It was not feeling that way.
every podcast I did a guest appearance on, whether it was, I did a few with buddy RJ on the BD4 podcast. I was on section 420
Right.
Yanks.
Yep.
I was on BronxNet with James Ice.
Yep.
I also did New York Giants fangirl,
Right.
Adriana's podcast when she was talking baseball a little bit,
Yeah.
especially her podcast, and it is up on our YouTube if you want to go back and listen to that under the podcast section of the YouTube channel. But one of the main things I talked about is that the rivalry is going to be back.
Yep.
Once the Red Sox got Alex Bregman, I knew it was back on.
Yeah. That was big.
I knew
That
it
was
was
big.
back on. And sure enough, here we go. And, we're going to have to worry about Alex Bregman. I mean, the Red Sox got a really good ball club. And those kids, you can see they're hungry. They want to beat the Yankees.
Yeah.
They beat up on the Yankees. They love it. You can see they live off that.
Oh.
Jaron Duran, when stretching that double into a triple and stealing the base. And, when Cedane Raphael is making a web gem out there in the outfield.
Web gem. You're aging yourself with a web gem.
It's a shame, shame Roman Anthony got hurt. We want to see the best competition go up
I
against
agree
each
with
other.
that. Yeah.
This kid is a kid who's going to be mashing, for the next 10, 15 years. He's going to be a Yankee killer.
Yeah.
He's going to be a killer. And the time is now, for the Yankees, to get at it.
There is just something different about the Yankees Red Sox than
It's definitely back.
I mean, even thinking back from when I was a kid, I remember, I'll give you guys a little backstory. So, as you know, obviously, my family is in the cemetery monument business. So, growing up, I was in a lot of cemeteries, helping my dad, set stones, fix things, that kind of stuff. So, every year, growing up, before the Yankees Red Sox played, which was always inevitable in the playoffs, we would take a ride up to Gate of Heaven Cemetery, and we would have a little visit at Babe Ruth's grave. Because it was one of those things that just was a part of my life already, because I spent so much time in cemeteries. But this is how deep it goes. I'm talking about, I was like an 8-year-old kid going with my dad to lay a baseball down at Babe Ruth's grave, along with dozens of other things. I mean, if you ever visit up there between Babe Ruth and Billy Martin's grave, both being up there, you see a lot of wonderful things that people leave over there. But this is the rivalry. This is baseball. This is how deep it goes. And this is one of the reasons why I really don't want to face the Red Sox starting off, because it's got too much.
It makes me nervous.
It's too.
It makes me nervous. It really does. Just because I know the last series we took 2 out of 3 versus them, but they dominated.
Oh yeah.
A lot of that had to do with it was during the time where the Yankees were struggling, during the season. But goes together with what we were talking about. I know it's going to be tough. I mean, every matchup's going to be tough.
Yeah.
You don't want the Red Sox right off the bat. But you know what? If it is, so be it. Got to go out there and beat them.
Yep.
Just got to go out there and beat them.
Gotta do that with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go out there and beat everybody.
Someone, guys are going to have to step up and just got to play nice, clean baseball.
That clean baseball is key. Fundamentals, base running, turning double plays.
The double plays are going to have to get cleaned up here.
This is all part of it. If you lack slight in multiple areas, that's when you fail.
Mm-hmm.
So while we're good at making some other plays, but we can't turn double play, that's a big thing. It's a big thing.
Well, you can't give good teams extra outs, because usually when you do that, it comes back.
Yep, always.
The good teams will make you pay.
Yep.
And we've seen it. We watch the games. You guys watch the games. We've seen it.
We know what
We've
happens.
seen it. It's, not that history repeats, but it's, you can't. I mean, if you're gonna get beat, I'd rather it be like a real back and forth game,
Scrappy.
a pitcher's duel.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it happen on a mistake.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see you lose a game on, like a swinging bunt that's thrown down the right field line. Stupid things, avoidable things.
Oh, agreed. Wild pitches, things like that.
I'd rather you get beat because of a leadoff double than a leadoff walk.
100%. The walks,
And the walks always come back again. Just like we mentioned a little bit earlier, the Yankees have been, capitalizing more on walks, and that's you have to keep it going.
Yeah. If you're gonna get the base, take advantage of it.
Just five games to go here. Division still within reach. We'll say they're 1 game back from Toronto, 2 with the tiebreak.
Yeah.
Just like we've been talking about these Red Sox, the Blue Jays going to have their hands full tonight.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays are going to have their hands full tonight. They got Max Scherzer, who's trying to, put everything out there, leaving everything out on the mound because, maybe this could be his last go around at it. He's no spring chicken.
He did come out and say he intends to keep going, though.
He doesn't intend to keep going.
He said that.
They got their hands full with Garrett Crochet tonight. It's just like Garrett Crochet, another top left-handed pitcher. And that stat before I mentioned, the Red Sox are 22-9 in games started by Garrett Crochet. So
that means a lot.
Means a lot.
And
he's definitely someone I do not want to face in the postseason. But let's just see how these last 5 games go. More of the Yankees are in the playoffs. They, clinched, they confirmed that. But the division here is still within reach. And you still, with these 5 games to go now, you still can't just push them to the side because, you want, at worst, you want the home field advantage in the wild card.
I know we typically record on Wednesdays with the podcast.
Even though the Yankees do have the best record on the road in the American League, but it's not something you want to bank on in the playoffs.
No, and you know what the issue is? But I feel like most of the games we've lost on the road have been close games.
A lot of extra inning games. Yep.
But that's the ghost runner comes back to bite you in the butt.
The Yankees,
it's an automatic.
The Yankees are good in extra inning games at home.
Yeah, it seems in general. I could be wrong. I don't know the stats, but from what I'm seeing in general, it seems that with the ghost runner like as a thing now, that typically the home teams have the advantage for the most part. Yeah. It's just the way it is.
The way it's been going in the regular season.
Yeah, so we have to see, and that's one of the reasons why home field advantage and all that stuff is so important in the playoffs because although do they do the ghost runner in the playoffs?
No.
They don't, right? Oh, good.
The postseason games is back to normal. Thank God.
I can't take it. Oh my goodness. So typically, today is the 24th.
It could be a little different on the road. Let's hope.
Yeah.
I mean that ghost runner on the road is a killer for the Yankees.
Yeah, it really is. So today is Wednesday, September 24th. If we're the wild card series, then we're going to have our first game on Tuesday, the 30th. So heads up for everybody. If that is the case, if we are in the wild card, we will be putting out our podcast Tuesday morning. Before the first game.
Depending on how it goes.
Yeah. If not, if it's division, then we can do it. We can see how the beginning of the playoffs go.
I mean, our sights are on the division, but you can never. The only thing you can predict is that it's unpredictable. So let's see what happens here.
All right. Oh, Yankees. Wow. We spent almost an hour talking about the Yankees. There's a lot to talk about.
We'll keep it brief with
let's talk a little bit of football.
Just because it's the elephant in the room here.
Yeah.
You turn on the car radio today, the car started bringing the girls to school. The first thing you hear is Boomer Esiason talking about Jackson Dart. So as you guys know, we're fans of the New York Football Giants, and it hasn't been that great here for the past 15 years or so, feels like now. We had a little blip,
we had a couple of blips, a couple of fluky seasons.
Yeah, but best of luck to Jackson Dart here, taking over earlier than we expected.
Much earlier than I expected. Listen, like we always say about baseball, the same goes for football. I want them to win. I don't care who's doing it. It doesn't really matter.
But for our sake, for everyone's sake, let's hope he's the answer and provides some kind of spark for this football team. Because you know what? As good of the game Russell Wilson had in Dallas, you cannot have a red zone offense like this. I mean, this is the Giants' red zone offense. For those of you that remember when Coach Coughlin was the coach, he called it the green zone, and he was obsessed about putting up points when you're in the red zone, and it's something that the Giants have been struggling with since, thinking off the top of my head, 2005, 2006. They've been struggling in the red zone.
Sure.
It's like how we talk about the Yankees with runners in scoring position. Same idea.
Something we're just living with.
It's got to give, and it's just been far too long. And hopefully the energy of Jackson Dart, of just being able to move the ball down the field at a competitive rate during a professional football game. Just to want, we're not saying, bring the Giants to the Super Bowl here.
No.
I'm
a realistic person.
They're not built for that, but just competitive. Just to be competitive, to not be the laughing stock of the league that they've been for the last
too long,
5 years now.
I hope that, like you said, I hope it works out.
Best luck to the kid. We need a spark here.
I still don't understand. I'm just going to say it. I'm not really, don't even want to talk about it much. I don't understand why we have Jameis Winston if we're not utilizing him at all. He's not even on the active roster. I don't understand.
I don't understand why they signed Russell Wilson now. Very interesting, with the $10 million guaranteed he's going to get, he's not going to hit any of his incentives now.
I'm sure that's intentional.
But why? What I want to know is, I would love, why was he signed at that rate for a team that was in salary cap hell?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, an extra $10 million cap space would be a really good thing to have, for positions of need. I know they needed a quarterback, so they went out and they got 3 of them now, but you can only play 1. They're only carrying 2 on the active roster. I don't really understand the reasoning of why Russell Wilson was brought in. We know, that, that he's an NFL legend here, Super Bowl winner. But, if you were planning to go to Jackson Dart for week 4, you could have had Jameis Winston start the first week.
I mean, maybe it has something to do with the leadership skills and the experience and wanting him to be around the younger quarterback, but you're paying $10 million for a mentor. I mean, that's not really viable.
I don't think they expected to be 0-3, and put Jackson Dart into this scenario now. But you know what? This is the scenario we're in now, and this is just how it looks, just from fan perspective here.
I mean, my concern really is that in the few spots they threw him in so far, it's all been handoffs.
The four snaps he took, all handoffs.
Not a single throw. So I'm a little hesitant, especially hearing some background stuff from people who know what's going on.
And we saw what we did in the preseason, but the preseason don't matter. This is the real.
Obviously, the preseason doesn't matter. We were great in the preseason, and now we're 0-3.
So we're gonna find out on Sunday how he is, how ready he is. I mean, we're gonna find out. I mean, it's the NFL. No scenario is a good scenario.
No.
So, and we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Best of luck to the kid. Giants, we'd like to see them play competitive here, but our sights right now are on the Yankees in the postseason. And we'll just leave it at that. So it's a lot of putting the onus on the players here from our perspective, where we just want to see guys, perform now. Tired of hearing about it. Show us.
So let's see. Happy postseason, everybody.
Postseason.
Hopefully happy
postseason till the first pitch.
Yeah. We'll enjoy it for like a week, and that'll be that. Because once that postseason starts, I know my blood pressure's through the roof. Usually the whole time we're just kind of on edge a little bit. I don't think we have much else to talk about. I mean, baseball put out that they are going to be implementing the ABS system next year during regular season games.
Which the way we've seen umpiring go this year,
especially after that one game.
Get the calls right.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. The Red Sox umpire fan.
I think that was rough. That was crazy.
I don't remember his name, but I'm sure we won't be seeing him in the playoffs.
I want to say one thing about that, just real quick, because we didn't really talk about it.
No, we didn't.
My one thing about that is whether that guy was, I don't even know his name, was intentionally making those calls, as has been said in the media by a lot of different people, that they're, he's a Red Sox fan. It's not that. I know that, listen, you don't spend all that time to become a professional umpire to make bad calls against the Yankees on purpose. But there is something in the world called inherent bias. Inherent bias is talked about in many different areas, but in this situation, the inherent bias is it's the Yankees, and I haven't liked them my whole life.
Yeah.
You can't help it. I've experienced it myself. I'm not going to go into details, but I have experienced it myself. In terms of Yankees, Red Sox, that's the craziest part. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm strictly talking about somebody disliking me strictly because they are a Red Sox fan and I am a Yankee fan, which has no standing, like none.
It was in a professional environment.
Environment.
To do with baseball.
Correct. So that being said, you almost can't help yourself but to feel, listen, if somebody from the Red Sox right now came up to you and said, we want you to work for our team, of course you're going to try your absolute hardest. You know how hard that would be? And I'm not saying that that makes anybody less of a professional or anything like that. But when you are doing these things in your life, when inherent bias comes into play, you need to be aware of what those things are. So as somebody who is actively a Red Sox fan growing up, and now you are calling Major League Baseball games, maybe when you're umping certain games against certain teams, you need to be super aware of the calls you're making.
Yeah.
And this will help us better with those balls and strikes situation. That ABS system, and the young kids coming up are going to be very well prepared.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're used to doing it. They've been doing it in the minor leagues for a couple years already. You know, it's going to be harder for some of the veteran players maybe to get on track with it and get used to doing it. They're used to turning their heads and yapping at the umpire. It's a little different.
I think it was in spring training. They got about 50% of the challenges right.
Yeah, because the ball players know. The batters.
What's going to be real interesting is how it's going to work, like late in the games.
Yeah.
How it's going to be used as a strategy.
Yeah.
Will every player in the lineup have that ability right away to challenge it? Because, there's going to be some guys on some teams, some guys have more awareness of the strike zone and stuff, where there's going to be those conversations where it's like, where they might say, like, if it's late in the game, like, don't bother. Or
they're going to be used like timeouts in football.
Exactly.
Where we're going to try to throw off the other team's momentum.
They're going to be a strategic.
And let's hang back a second. It's like, you know what? They have the limits now in place for mound visits and things like that. I'm sure there is going to be a rule where there is going to be a limit to the number of challenges in an inning at some point. If it starts getting out of hand and teams start using it to their advantage, whether they're right or not, I think there is going to be a limit.
I'm sure through the years, just like baseball, the rules will be modified like we always saw. But but I
think it's a good system, and I think I think in the way that umping is right now, I think it's beneficial, and I think it's going to work out well. I don't see why not. I think it's a good idea.
Let's and we'll see how it goes next year. We'll worry now about the postseason and how many bad calls are going to go and sway from our way throughout the postseason, because it's going to happen.
There's always bad calls. You can't help that. They're human. Mm-hmm. The umps are human. So as much as we could say, it's so clearly he's safe, this, that. Mm-hmm. Those guys are seeing it differently on the field. You
can't wait, really. Cannot wait.
I know. All right. I think we're done for today.
I think we're done. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy football on Sunday, on Saturday for everyone out there who watches college, and enjoy the final stretch here of the regular season. I mean, there's still nothing settled. There's a few things settled, but a lot of the postseason bracket here is unsettled. You have the Mets fighting to stay in playoff contention.
Yep.
The NL West, the AL Central. It's a crazy race out here.
It really is.
Down to the very end.
And I'm living for it.
Unbelievable.
This is good. All right, guys. Happy postseason once again, and we will see you guys next week.
Okay, have a good one.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Beat of the Bronx, a Yankee podcast. You can follow Russ on all social media platforms using the handle at NYYankeeDad. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.